You know, as much as I like me a good hero-villain clash, seeing characters beat impossible odds stacked against them, a little tearjerker here, a couple goosebumps there, and even studying the evolution of Microsoft PowerPoint in my spare time, every now and then, I like to cleanse my palate and watch something that's wholesome and easy on the eyes. I really do think it's important to anime detox, well, more like anime genre detox, because anime burnout is crazy real, y'all. Especially when you're trying to make a living by talking about it. Staying on one thing for too long, you start to hear and see things, you know, like...
We must get the precious. We must get it back.
Patience, my love.
I'm so sorry for what you have to go through.
Anyway, this anime I've been watching recently has been helping me do just that. Plus, guys, it's an anime about bread. Okay, so anybody that knows me, as in IRL knows me, knows that I appreciate the apex, the cornerstone of human ingenuity. No, not that. No, not that. But my friend, what's all this shit? I'm talking about bread. I just loves me the bread with the shapes and the textures and the the smell. Except you, fruit bread. Like, what even are you?
Get out of my face.
That's right, guys. Today we're not going to the demon realm to save our alien friend who was turned into a baby. We're not trying to fight an AI that's sucking everything into virtual reality, and we're not testing out our Duolingo skills.
Amore. Amore.
Amore!
Amore.
Amore!
Amore.
Amore!
We're just watching a normal young boy make time-traveling bread with Detective Conan. Wait, what? The anime we're talking about today is Yakitate by Takashi Hasiguchi. The original manga came out in 2001 and the anime adaptation ran from 2004 to 2006. The show follows a young Azuma Kazuma, no relation to Jin Kazuma or Sato Kazuma or Kazuma Kuwabara or Kazuma Toritsuna. There's a lot of Kazuma guys. Anyways, he's on a mission to put the Japanese baking industry on the map by making the country's very own signature bread. So it's kind of like how the French have baguettes and crepes, Americans have cornbread and banana bread, Mexicans have tortilla wraps, the British have crumpets and English muffins, and the Austrians have croissants. Pardon? Yeah, I know, right? Croissants aren't French. What life-changing, mind-boggling knowledge. Well, it's a bit of a true and false case, actually. You see, while croissants are technically French, their origins actually trace back to Austria. They're kind of like a variation on the Austrian Kipfel bread. Okay, think of it like this. You know how Peter Pan and Snow White originated in Scotland and Germany respectively, but Walt Disney brought the stories to a massive global audience while adding and subtracting and adding and adding. Please stop! Certain aspects to the source material. And Walt Disney being an American production company, a lot of us for the greater part of our lives, and some even still up till now, thought that these were American stories, American characters because they came from an American company, an American brand. But as we all grow up, you know, we kind of realize America ain't shit. Really? I'm sure some people would argue that croissants aren't originally Austrian and they're 100% French. Also, I'm sure there's a lot of lore and nuances to the whole story about it to back it up. But guys, I'm from Africa. What we have is agege bread. I'm kidding, guys, I'm kidding. We have all kinds, but really, I'm just going off Wikipedia and a couple of articles I use for research. Plus, I've never really had a croissant before, so forgive me, and hey, if you know more, educate me and the rest of the viewers in the comments. And yo, if you're a fellow otaku living in the Buj, we should link up and eat bread. Let's link up and eat. Getting back to the main topic though. If you've seen shows like Food Wars, then you basically have a 40% idea of what's to come, being that most of these type of shows have a happy-go-lucky and energetic protagonist with mad culinary skills, and they apply to an academy or school or program of some kind, and they're quickly put up against some other of the brightest young talents in the country or the world has to offer. And there's always that heroine whose grandfather just happens to own like everything. The grandfather just owns everything.
佐川定直ファンタジアグループのオーナーやあずさが同棲
彼女はあずさ川オーナーの孫娘でありまだお若いがファンタジア南東京支店を任されている
While this show does have all of that, there are some things that I personally really enjoyed, which I feel makes it unique and sets it apart from its contemporaries, and I think y'all will enjoy those things about this show too. For one, I like how the show doesn't take itself too seriously and isn't afraid to break the fourth wall every now and then.
これだご飯155度納豆ご飯じゃんこれは
焼きたてジャパン第1話にそっくりやないか。
Totally did not expect that. That's the kind of thing you need to wash away the ending of Mushoku Tensei Season 2, to be honest. My hate campaign continues. I definitely expected a certain level of comedy and zaniness, but these guys turned it up to like 250 without it feeling forced or losing the overall plot of the show. It kind of reminds me of Gintama with the parodies and references, but I'm not struggling to understand the gimmick per episode per time. Also, the characters. One of the qualities of any good show is having a rich and diverse cast that can really tug at your heartstrings when they want to. I wouldn't say Yakitate does that, but to their credit, I've never actually seen an anime where I didn't hate any of the characters at all, or when I see a certain face pop up that my laptop screen wasn't in imminent danger at that point in time. The show has no bad characters, to be honest. Even Tsukino's sister, who I honestly believe is the contender for the least favorite character, she gives off like Team Rocket or Doofenshmirtz kind of vibes, like Doofenshmirtz threat level vibes. That's really not scary or antagonizing, you know. Also, I like how much research was put into this show. Under all the zaniness and tomfoolery, you can actually pick up the educational content and learn a thing or two. While it's quite impossible to make a loaf of bread so sweet that it would send you to the end of the universe to meet your late mother again, I do believe that a lot of the practices and recipes are actually applicable in real life and not just entertainment. One thing about Japan is a very careful country with its image, and also about the messages they send out, the things they like to portray. For better or worse, they like to give off this utopia vibe where everything is safe and has been scrutinized to the minutest detail to maintain public law and order. Did you know in Japan, you're not allowed to show the insides or the cross sections of a fruit on a drink or package unless it contains like 100% fruit, and if it contains anything between 5 to 99%, then you have to show the picture of like the whole fruit, not the inside but the whole fruit. And if it has less than 5% of that, that's the fruit, you can only show an animated picture of the fruit. So this is not like speculation, this is actual facts, guys. So basically what I'm getting at is that for them to put out a show about making bread and talking about ingredients, preparation practices, you know, a certain level of quality check has been undergone about the contents of the anime and everything they're talking about, so they feel that it's safe and non-harmful to broadcast to the public. It's like general information, and it's something that somebody in his own kitchen on his own free time won't try to bake like a loaf of bread with inspiration from the show and then fall sick and it turns into a lawsuit against the animation studio or the writer or stuff that's like, you know, all of that. Basically, they're in the clear. So it's like, hey, if you want to go ahead and make that bread with inspiration from the show, do that. We're vouching for you. And that's really cool, to be honest. I respect that about Japan, at least. Okay, I sound like I'm critiquing Japan, but don't get it twisted. Trust me, when Toroko-kun eventually comes for me, if I can't be reborn as a princess whose sole purpose in life is to get a good night's sleep, then take me straight to the land of the rising sun. No deviation. But also, I couldn't help but wonder if maybe it wasn't created by the time this anime came out, or if it just wasn't a big thing yet at the time, but I'm pretty sure Japan has anpan and melon bread. I hear they also have milk bread, but anpan and melon bread are very well-known Japanese bread that have been featured in tons of other anime and Japanese IP, some even older than Yakitate.
と同じく道にアンパンを巻き店先にアンパンをあげるそして夜アンパン時にアンパンをアンパンしてアンパンするのだアンパンだアンパンアンパンアンパンアンパンアンパン
So that's kind of like a big question mark. Anpan being a bread that incorporates red bean paste as filling, and melon bread that's covered in crispy cookie dough and that's kind of shaped like a, well, obviously like a melon. I mean, that's a no-brainer. But I actually haven't finished the show. I just really fell in love with it so fast and got really inspired and excited to talk about it and share it with you guys. So who knows, maybe at the end of the anime, Azuma ends up creating one of these signature kinds of bread, and that's what ends up being Japan's signature kind of bread, and the whole story behind it that connects it together, why it's so popular and all that. So that's really not a spoiler, that's speculation. But hey, come to think of it, I just realized that I actually haven't dropped any spoilers in this video.
Clap on for Jesus! Clap on for Jesus! Are you not entertained?
But yeah, if you're suffering from anime burnout, instead of touching grass and forcing yourself to interact with other Homo sapiens who will 7 out of 10 times shit on you for watching quote-unquote cartoons, and another 2 out of the remaining 10 times only watch what's mainstream and breaking records, bruh, don't do all that. All you need to do is just change your approach to watching anime, and more importantly, the kind of anime you watch. Have an open mind and try new things. If you've been watching romance anime where the series always ends right after the dude makes a confession, watch Vinland Saga. If you've been watching action-packed shonen anime where the power of friendship always seems to save the day, watch Vinland Saga. And if you've been binging horror or thriller anime, watch Planetis, which is an anime created by Yukimura Makoto, who is also the creator of Vinland Saga. Maybe I should just make a video about Vinland Saga cause that season 2 ending, god. But yeah guys, check out Yakitate. It's a genuinely down-to-earth and wholesomely funny anime about chasing your dreams, camaraderie, sportsmanship. It encourages experimentation, trying new things, and the pursuit of self-development, plus some wacky and goofy scenarios for good measure along the way, all using baking bread as a medium to tie them together and, you know, express the fullness of the whole plot and the theme. There's a lot of more things I could have talked about and said about this show, but this is less of a review and more of a long ass recommendation. So yeah, go watch it and enjoy it for yourselves. Well, that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe so we can grow the channel and grow the community. I also like to hear what you guys think about the videos and new stuff we could talk about, so be sure to go crazy in the comments. If I'm not dropping videos on YouTube, then I'm probably doing something on the channel's Instagram and TikTok account, so be sure to follow up there for side quests and other updates. And yeah, that's it. See you guys in the next video. Once again, this has been Shima-san, your favorite otaku from Africa, signing out.